Our original operation to retake Earth is meaningless now, and our method to pinpoint the cocoon of finality hit the wall. There isn't much time left for us to figure out another plan. Darn it, I just find this hard to swallow. From where I stand, it's impossible for you to find a better answer. This is Kevin mocking us. I love to teach those useless pieces of track a good lesson. Let them suffer. But are we really going to go all the way down this road and go along with Project Sigma's heartless plan? Rather than taking it as Kevin's ridicule, it feels more like he's questioning. If we're bound to abandon something for the sake of humanity and our civilization, what kind of answer would Kevin want us to come up with? Suddenly, she recalled Kevin's calm and indifferent eyes while she confronted him. Right, he made his choice a long time ago. Project Sigma is his answer. Perhaps he isn't expecting any answer, and this isn't a test made specially for us. But we still must come up with an answer. Right, back then. Perhaps violence isn't the only solution to break apart the aggregation of dreamlands. When I was ensnared by Project Sigma, I did somehow realize I was in a dream. So it seems that spiritual Adam isn't as indestructible as we thought. A while later, by disrupting Project Sigma's mainnet again, we can seize the opportunity to sneak into Spiritual Adam, get info and break open the sealed dreamland and cause a chain reaction to disintegrate the dreamland. While the dreamlands are being shaken up, push forward and anchor the normal space and help some people return to reality, meanwhile try to pinpoint the cocoon of finality's location. In theory, if the first step goes well, the rest should follow. There's only one question left. How do we break them open from the inside? Realizing I was dreaming in the sickness space created an opportunity for me to break out of the dreamland. Since the strength of a dreamland relies on the rejection of reality, we just have to somehow make those people accept reality. So even the sturdy dreamland can be weakened. The dreamland is far more enticing than reality to some people. This idea of yours might actually work, Teresa. Think about it. Since the dreamland is far more enticing than reality to some people, we just have to help them realize their dreams outside of Project Sigma. Wouldn't that flip the relationship between reality and dreamland for Project Sigma's aggregation of dreamlands? Sorry, I can't really keep up with your train of thought. Why will the reverse of reality and dreams? Just think about it like this. They crave the dreamland because they actually have their own desires, right? So if we make them realize that the dreamland cannot satisfy their desires, it would arouse their desire to create a new world. Once that happens, aggregation of dreamland that they were once reluctant to leave will become a real shackle. In this way, wouldn't they reject the aggregation of dreamland itself? In other words, guide them to think about creating something on their own, so they naturally become enemies of Spiritual Adam. It should be far milder than actually becoming enemies, but it's definitely a form of non-cooperation. Yes, true creation is definitely a form of rebellion against the collective unconsciousness. It's worth a shot. But if we go in this direction, I'm afraid there's no turning back. That makes sense. If this approach is effective, then the randomness in this plan itself will definitely lead to an outcome beyond our control. If luck isn't on our side, a second stronger Spiritual Adam is born by chance, then everything we've done will be in vain. Does that make it even more worth a shot? Mophead? I'm not advocating for taking risks. Take our previous discussion, for example. Destroying the dreamland by force seems reliable, but it requires a lot of firepower, and the risk involved is unpredictable too. We can't rule out the possibility of Kevin interfering. So, from a technical perspective, it's actually difficult for us to determine which plan is better. If that's the case, why don't we select a plan that's much more human? Or perhaps we can say once the first step is a success, it will actually be a process of verifying if humanity is worth saving. Dr. Tesla, the anger you previously displayed was not unwarranted. If mankind is always being rescued unilaterally, then we're no different from a bunch of hamsters in captivity. Lacking the ability to survive independently and the will to change the world, humans like that will not worth saving. Alright, I should realize you're actually a ruthless person deep down, Mophead. No, my belief in the possibilities and nature of humans is greater than yours. I believe that mankind is worth saving. Otherwise, why would Kiana and the others repeatedly think this world can be a better place? In fact, if that is untrue, could Project Sigma's Dreamland ever create so many sweet dreams for all of them? I agree with Einstein. I may have said that there's no turning back, but if we believe in goodness in mankind, it's something worth trying. It's a fight against Project Sigma and a battle between the human self and abstract. Then this battle will determine the fate of mankind should be waged by all humans. I didn't expect a casual thought of mine would give birth to this much discussion. But now that everyone agrees with this plan, yeah, it's decided. We believe in our own kind. They won't let us down. It seems it's time to decide who will be entering the dreamland. In theory, the more we send, the better our chances, but nothing is easy at first. We need someone to lead the operation. That person must have sufficient tolerance to Sigma space, be able to avoid getting lost in the dreamland, and be persuasive and convincing in speech. Isn't there someone like that right in front of you? Are you talking about yourself? But don't the worlds retaken by Durandal's group have to be anchored to you? Well, I'm sure Siegfried can take care of just that. He's been standing by all this time, so I'm sure he's dying for some action. As for the coordination in combat, I'm sure Rita, Nagamitsu, Amber, and the others will make the right decisions. But spiritual Adam's interior is still unknown to us. Oh right, the power of Vishnu. Indeed, that makes you the best candidate for this job. It's indeed a trump card. But besides these objective reasons, don't you think you forgot something? I may not have a lot of teaching experience, but I'm still the principal of St. Freya. Why do birds fly? Few would ever ask such a necessary question now. Perhaps the birds, even if they could speak, wouldn't be able to explain it. Similarly, even if humans realized that they only had true freedom over how they die, they would not be able to explain why it was their only freedom. And they would never be able to provide a definite answer for it. But a long time ago, when the world was still foreign to mankind, they still wanted to explore everything unknown in this world, and they refused to accept any questions that were without answers. So, when a certain person looked up at the sky, he would ask, "Why do birds fly?" A speech about it was being held here. If time was turned back by 1,000 years, every philosopher would be a pioneer of civilization, remembered in history in different ways. Sages whose wisdom transcended time. That was what they were called. But they were no different from infants to the man. It wasn't due to his nature. After experiencing it all, younglings like them couldn't cause a single wave in his heart. Of course, I too consider it to be an unnecessary question. They are born to fly, just like we are born with many instincts. They are gifts from God. But even then, we can only explain why birds can fly, yet we do not know why they wish to fly. Someone seemed to be quietly shushing as it sounded like a meaningless argument. But hear me out. Every one of us present here today was born with the ability to see, to hear, to travel, and to conquer. But it is a right, and we've seen many who've chosen to give up that right. But why? Why have we never seen birds give up flying? Everything quieted down. So, this brings me to my point, everyone. If we were lucky enough to turn to the origin of the world and see the first bird, it was definitely without wings. What it possessed at that time wasn't a pair of wings obtained from praying to the gods, but a heart as lofty as the moon, which yearned to touch the zenith. That's very brave of him. As he'd expected, his speech immediately caused a commotion in the crowds. After all, in this God-fearing age, there was little support for thoughts like that. Of course, it wouldn't bring him any harm, so the man wasn't very worried. According to Su, it was how the era is. Countless different thoughts were chasing against each other, and they would from common beliefs that led the civilization forward. It was why they must go to the people and listen to what they had to say. Su, he should be almost done. A long time had passed since the two of them returned as pioneers and started helping the new generation reshape their civilization. With the help of their long lifespans and transcendent knowledge, they deftly entered history, aiding its development in secret. He did not turn around to verify if his companion was still behind him. They had made a promise to always be by each other's side, no matter what. He never doubted that promise. But it seems to have taken slightly longer this time. The man raised his hand and checked it briefly, but coal did not seep out from there. even until he finished listening to the speech. Clearly, he was getting better at controlling his own body temperature. Just like his growth in this aspect, everything else would take a turn for the better. That was what he thought. Even if it was too late for him, regardless of which aspect took a turn for the better. It's time to take a look somewhere else. He began to lose interest in everything here. He had always considered the topic discussed before him meaningless. For the sake of a grander goal, and with Zeus and his help, civilization would avoid the mistakes they made and take a better path forward. But on some very rare days, a thought like this passed his mind. Is humanity destined from birth to take the same path? Perhaps the guidance I provided them is just my own wishful thinking. It was a very distant memory for him. Unlike his companion, the man was not affected by a certain side effect and hence didn't remember every moment of his life. Actually, even the absolutely important moments from 50,000 years ago required frequent recollection to remain in his memory. Everyone has experienced something similar. No matter how important a person or event may be, memories of them blur in time. That is an admonition of the flesh, which often gives birth to self-hatred. Even he was no exception. Only those were long-lost memories of mine. Have they returned to me upon my entrance into this place? He looked around. Within the darkness was a surging dreamland formed by billions of minds. It was known as spiritual Adam. Only one was in it while conscious, its clear outline would appear. It matters not. It's of no importance. Indeed, in his opinion, the memory shared certain attributes with his current action. Reshaping civilization. It had been his job for thousands of years. Even if he was well aware of Project Sigma's potential results, the man acted just the same. He habitually wished to witness that world that revolved by his hand. Oh, it isn't an awakened memory, but your dreamland. Sorry. Not long ago. Only boundless darkness lay ahead. Teresa walked slowly through the boundless void as the darkness swallowed her footprints. Countless noisy whispers and faint flickering lights surrounded her. There were reflections of the dreamlands, traces human left behind in Project Stigma. It was the first time Teresa realized that even light can be oppressive and heavy like the ocean's depth. She just walked silently, and as time passed, bright light appeared before her eyes. Let's go.
走吧。
Here, it really is a school. So many children. Similar dreamlands may attract each other and intersect. So that's it. These children may be strangers to each other, but their similar desires gave them the same dream. Only a dream where they can have fun at school without any restraints. Isn't that quite disrespectful of their teacher? Wow, what should we do next? Want to read through some illustrations? Watch this. You're amazing. Let's play hide and seek. All right, let's see. Over there. The children are really having fun. To a certain extent, I can't bear to disturb this happy dream of theirs. But children, if your dreams are only dreams, then your dreams have lost their value. What do you think? Pretty good, right? It's beautiful. Is this a ship? It's so cool. Exactly, it's a ship that's bigger than our school. That boy, he has drawn the attention of many other children. Perhaps this is an opportunity for change. Nice to meet you.
你好呀。
Are you here to watch me paint too? I'll even consider teaching you if you really like to learn. Let me see. Not bad, but it's not good enough. Who are you? Are you jealous because I'm better than you? I've seen numerous paintings, so I can immediately spot the flaws in your painting with just a glance. You're just a little older than me, and that's nothing to be proud of. Your painting is missing something very important.
你的画中缺少了一种很重要的东西。
I'm all ears. You copied this ship from an adventure storybook, right? I've read it too.
我也读过那本书。
So what? It's an exact copy. Even its colors are the same. Then I'm sure you remember the favorite line of that book's protagonist, right? I will soar across the world and leave my name over every inch of the sky. The protagonist travels through every country on his ship, leaving the memory of his and his ship in the minds of the locals wherever he went. Yes, it's why I really admire him. I intend to be a great explorer just like him. But I don't see you in this painting of yours. You mainly reproduce his dream without any change. How will you ever become qualified adventurer like this? The two, in the heat of the argument, attracted the attention of even more, and before they knew it, they were surrounded by children. Yes, this is perfect. As the scope of the discussion expands, these children will find their own opportunity for change, and they will affect all who are intertwined with this dreamland. And these thoughts run through Teresa's mind. A soft voice came from her side. Are you a teacher? Yes, I'm the principal of another school. Did you hear what we discussed? Yes, you said the people in books can be our models and goals, but they are not our shackles and limits. A true adventure surpasses the footsteps of those predecessors and goes further and further until their dream reaches the sky that no one had ever ventured into. Yes, just like that, countless adventurers have followed their dreams for years upon years to bring humanity to such a prosperous state. This is civilization. Then, little teacher, how do we become true adventurers? Little teacher? No, I'm a calm and mature adult. I shouldn't argue with children. It's very simple. The first step to becoming an adventurer is waking up from your own dreams. Everyone dreams, and we can imagine anything in our dreams. But that isn't enough, because compared to what we can dream for now, there are plenty of interesting things hidden in the world that we can't even dream of. What is it? Unfortunately, even I do not know. Little teacher's a liar. I wasn't lying. I don't know because they haven't been created yet. They are in deep sleep at the bottom of your hearts. At the bottom of our hearts. Yes, you are full of novel imagination and curiosity. Your hands can create a future that no one has ever imagined, and your passion will take your dreams higher and higher. As long as you have the courage to take the first step, never stop searching and creating that which does not exist yet, then even if it seems worthless in the eyes of others, but if you do not try, no one will see the sparkling and colorful painting you create. My, that would be such a pity. That which does not exist yet. Paintings. Right, what about this? I'm going to paint a ship greater than the one in the book. I will build it myself and soar it in the sky with it. That sounds cool. I want to build a big ship with you too. Me too. The children got into an animated discussion and started painting on paper with great gusto. Some of them started to run around in search of materials from all over the school. The edge of the dreamland started to blur because of this. It was like the small ripples created by a pebble tossed into a lake. It might be a small step, but changes were certainly occurring quietly. That's all I can do. Now it's up to all of you. I believe in all of you, because the world will change because of you. I wonder what kind of dreamland I'll see next.